So it's really cold in Riga, Latvia. I've been in Europe for about a month now, and I've spent most of the last 2 years living in various tropical countries in Latin America and Southeast Asia. And I think I'm really just not made for this weather. It's also funny that many people I meet, like British or Europeans, they assume that Texas is like hot all of the time. That's actually not true. It actually reminds me a lot of a Texas November or October. But it's just a lot colder here, and it's cloudy almost every single day. So it's not the most pleasant place to be, or the most pleasant time of year to visit the Baltics. But it is an amazing culture, an amazing place, and we had some wonderful food today, some traditional lamb. But today I want to talk to you about a question I receive all the time, and it has to do with class rank and test scores. And students often ask me, what happens if my test score is below average? Or do I need some magic number that will guarantee me admission to my major? Or, what happens if I have a strong rank and low test scores, or a strong test score and low class rank, and so on? And I think there's a lot of anxiety about how exactly the rank and the test scores work, and what exactly the word average means. And an average literally means that the total admits to UT Austin, on average, have about a 29 ACT. Roughly in the top 10% of all applicants to both the SAT, or test takers for SAT and ACT. But that's simply an average. That means there are students with above a 29 that get denied. There are students with below a 29 that get admitted, not just to UT Austin, but to all the different majors and disciplines. And what UT means by a holistic review is taking in all of those components, right? So your test scores are simply one indicator of how you're performing across a national level. So it's you against all the other test takers for the SAT or ACT. The class rank is showing how you compare against people in your own high school. So those are two different measures of your academic success, and that constitutes about half of your admissions profile. The other half are going to be those more subjective factors, the activities you're doing outside of the classroom, your volunteer activities, your awards, your accomplishments reflected on the resume, the quality of the essays that you've written that I've talked about in other videos, and then also your letters of recommendations and so on. And students sometimes will get discouraged. They'll say, Mr. Martin, I've got a 26 on the ACT, and I'm in the 11th percentile of my senior class. Should I even bother applying? And the honest answer is yes. Like if UT is your top one or second choice, definitely give it a try. If you can afford the $75 application fee and you don't mind putting in the time to write the essays and compose a great resume, then give it a try. I mean, I have students all the time that ask me, or they'll tell me, hey, Mr. Martin, I didn't even apply as a high school senior. I went to another university as a freshman, and now I want to transfer. And then they say, man, I really wish I had just tried because I really don't like where I'm at. And in hindsight, I probably could have maybe had a good chance of getting admitted. And so my piece of advice and takeaway from this clip is, don't get discouraged if your SAT or ACT is a little bit below the average admit, or your grades are a little bit below average for the average admit to business or engineering or communications. Simply put forth your best effort on the application, and hopefully the admissions process will work out for you. If you're interested in receiving help on these applications, feel free to shoot me an email. I provide free consultation to all of my clients, and I can give you an honest assessment of your chances of gaining admission to UT Austin or to some of the specific majors or honors programs that you may be interested in.